this isn't my usual stuff where I make long-form video just talking, but I was busy making this thing. And content is content, so I'm gonna show you how I make my new PNGtuber. Don't worry, I'm still making animations. I'm just in this phase where I'm bored doing the same thing or project over and over again, so I wanted a break by doing other projects before I jump back into animating. Also, fair warning, this isn't exactly a tutorial on how to use PNGtuberPlus, but more of a I did it and I want to show you guys how I did it kind of video. But if you learned something from this, I'd be happier. If you guys want a real tutorial, there's lots of other creators that I've also watched, so let's start with the video. First off, I draw, obviously, and I'm also using this brush that I loved instantly the moment I found it. The brush's texture is what I really like since it's not smooth. I don't know how to describe it better. Designing it was one of the hard part. I can't stick to an art style to save my life, and I ended up using a slightly different but similar art style with my previous models. The one you're looking at right now. Not the same, and that's okay. I keep telling myself that, but I really wanted a consistent art style, please help me. After I'm happy with the design, I started drawing from the easiest part like the face and hair. The thing about PNGtuber or VTuber is that you have to make sure that you draw the hidden part as well. You can't slack off and give your character a deformed head just because the hair will cover it. Don't be lazy. Honestly, a good tip to give you guys is don't overwhelm yourself with layers upon layers like me. I'm just used to it being like this. I think it'll total up to 150 layers, and that's not counting the layers I've deleted or merged. Don't be like me. After drawing each of my model sprites, well, that's what each of the images are called, I saved it all in a transparent PNG separately like this. And yes, it had to be saved with such a giant canvas so when I put it in the app, it'll show up exactly where it's supposed to be. You can move it in the app, but that's just extra work. Saved it all into a folder and opened PNGtuberPlus. By the way, I didn't know this, but since last year the developer has stopped working on the app, how did I not know this? I mean, I'm not too active when it comes to communities, but what? So when I found out about this a few days ago, I was shocked. I've been using this whole program ever since I started streaming on YouTube a year ago, and yeah, I was quite shocked when I found it. Anyways, back to the topic. If you want to use PNGtuberPlus, the app is still on itch.io or Steam. Now, save the model folder into PNGtuberPlus folder by pressing the escape button in PNGtuberPlus and drag your model into the programs folder. And then I had to load all the sprites one by one. If only it doesn't have to be like that, but oh well, can't complain. After loading all the sprite, it looked like this. No panic, cause this thing has a unique layering system that are unlike drawing programs. Here, layers can be filled with many sprites at once. Currently, all sprites is in layer 0. You have to click on each sprite or scroll outside of the list and press Q or E to move a layer to the back or front respectively. So I spent around 15 minutes arranging them. After it's all arranged like this, it looks pretty neat and halfway done. It's not though. Next step is move the origin point, this little red and green cross in the middle of the screen. It's like an anchor where each sprite is gonna rotate or move from. To do that, click each sprite and press the O key and move the anchor point with WASD keys to where it's supposed to be. Next I gotta do is link the sprites. There's gonna be the parent sprite, where other sprites are connected to, and then there's child sprites who are linked to the parent sprite. You'd want to link each sprites to where the sprites are connected to, such as hands to the arms, then to the body, or eyes and hair to the head. You're basically making a chain of linked sprites the more detailed your model is. To link a sprite, all I do is click on the sprite here on the list, press P on my keyboard, and choose the sprite I want this one to link it to. Some people would link it to the image itself, but I have many sprites covering other sprites, so it's hard to actually do it on the image, so I use the list instead. By the way, important tip, you have to position the anchor points before you link the sprites. Otherwise, when you move an anchor point of a parent sprite, the child sprite will move too, to avoid the hassle of repositioning them later on. Next, I set up the talking and blinking part. These two boxes adjusted so when you talk, only the talking sprites show up, and when you're not talking, your closed mouth will show up. Same for blinking, but that's not controlled by your voice. You can set up how much and how long you're blinking in the setting. Now it's time to add movement into this model. Select the sprite and use these sliders to adjust how they move. These sliders for how much it drags behind the parent sprites. This one is how much a sprite squashes and stretches when the model moves. And this is to adjust how much it rotates. There's a circle diagram too showing how much a sprite can rotate, and you can limit it using these sliders, and as you can see, the movement is now less wild. These 4 sliders moves the sprite anchors in an XY axis. Amplitude sliders controls how much or how far it moves, and frequency controls how fast it moves. It's better to only use this at the body or the top of the parent sprites. And now, time to do all that to each of the sprites.
A few moments later.
After hours of adjusting, it's finally done. Oh wait, I haven't told you how to make the animated mouth and tail part. In your drawing program, you draw a few mouths in different positions like these, and then you save them as transparent PNG as usual. Now you have to turn them into a sprite sheet. You can use an online tool to help you make it easier. I use Texture Packer. First, you clear the image, set the layout to horizontal, as that's what PNGtuber requires. and download it as a PNG. Now you put it in the program. It's just a slider based on how many sprites you make. I made 5 different mouths for talking, so I put 5. And this is how fast you want it to change to a different sprite. This is also what I do to the tail. And now I'm done! Huzzah! And here's what the new model looks like. Ta-da! Did I went overboard with the amount of sprites I use? Yes. But is it worth it? Definitely. I love how it turned out and I will use it to stream from now on. Goodbye, old Halloween costume. I hope I taught you something or made you interested in making one too. And if not, at least I hope I entertain you with my yapping. That's it for now. Like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.